to tip in their direction if they're going to be able to pull off the win. Simon, the first to attack for VATIC, is moving in with record speed now, dropping a couple of rocket loons to help set the funnel for this early Spirit Walk.
Here he goes. Simon is underway, and you're right, though. Getting that boot camp and having that little bit of a team building event, going out and seeing the city. I'm sure Paris is beautiful this time of year. I've never been there personally, so I can't speak to that. But it's got to be great for the team morale as they get ready for the World Championship qualifiers here. And Simon is starting things off with a beautiful Spirit Charge. Getting into that Ricochet cannon, does have the recall, so he'll be able to pull her right back out. There he goes. And the pathing is set up a little bit. He takes out pretty much that whole top corner. He's going to send everything right through the middle. Here comes that log launcher just to set up some pathing here for that queen, as she's going to accompany the log launcher and those golems right into the middle of the base.
Simon on the synchronic lineup. Last year fighting for VATIC Esports now and trying to show up with an opportunity to start this at war strong. 3 stars is the standard that's been set by so many foes ahead of him. Yeah, pops that log launcher. What's where you put?
Oh no, he got value from that log launcher. It took out the scatter shot there. It did catch the tornado trap there, but the last log actually took out the scatter shot. So I thought that was actually a really nice play. He played in 1 earthquake there just to pick up a little bit of extra value, get those buildings down. So a nice little play there from Simon, and that's why he's a former world champion. It's all those little technical details that you and I may not think of as the average player, but Simon and these pros, they pick up on things like that and make it and use it to big success. Ice golems are popping now, and getting those out of the way will allow these root riders just to reign free. Look at all those snakes on the bottom there, Woody.
There's only 5 world champions in the world right now, Bash, and Simon has hitched his cart to the VATIC lineup. He must see a lot of potential in his teammates and is going to try to set the standard high to start things off here now. He still is holding on to that Grand Warden ability, ready to deploy it at the backside when all of these defenses are going to start popping off for maximum effect. He is just being so careful on its use and waits until less than a minute remaining in this raid to pop it off. Barbarian King and Minion Prince up on the top side are not going to provide too much defense remaining, especially with the Queen ability popping up. And still yet to deploy the Royal Champion ability. This space has been absolutely crushed, and Simon is very happy to begin this war with a triple. Pump those fists, Simon. You earned it.
Talk about patience, though, Woody. The Warden ability until the last little section of the base to power right on through there. That was a crazy play. Look at all the force he still has remaining. He's still got roots for days. He's still got the king, the RC. He's got. Now we're going to see P. Castro throwing in an attack of his own. It's going to be Root Riders with the Spirit Charge. I mean, I think we could all say that is the favorite of all these pro attackers here in the hard mode. Those Root Riders just give you so much versatility, walking right on through the walls. Keep an eye on this one because he is going towards that town hall. Then see if he has haste file on the RC, but if he can get this town hall down, that would be some massive value and a great pickup here for P. Castro. Actually, recalls are early.
Yeah, quite early, in fact, and we'll be able to use her alongside the rest of those attacking troops along the top to be able to get a lot of work done against this base. We see that Archer Queen still using Action Figure and Magic Mirror, a great equipment pairing. Seems like a lot of the pros love using the Action Figure. That Giant is a fantastic tank out in front for her. P. Castro deploys the rest of the army and is going in with lightning speed and will seek to get maximum efficiency, popping that Eternal Tome early on as the Monolith. Both of those scatter shots and fire spitters are firing away at the bulk of his forces. Can he power through quickly enough to justify that early spend though, Bash?
You gotta remember that Town Hall doesn't have poison attached to it like it used to, and the Gigabomb is external. You actually see the Gigabomb on the left side of your screen right now. It's in that final compartment over there, so it maybe could have been considered an early Warden ability when it may not have been needed here. However, he does have a lot of force still remaining. He does have that Royal Champion now throwing her Rocket Spears in there to take out that multi-target Inferno, to keep an eye on that King and that Minion Prince over there in that top compartment. They're definitely going to be difficult. Plus, he's got 2 Ricochet Cannons, the Expo, and that Gigabomb. So he's got a lot to power through. But there goes that Giant from the Action Figure. And remember, even though it is not at maximum level, only level 21 here in hard mode, you still get a Giant that has 12,500 hit points, which is way more than even a Golem.
He saved one more invis for the Royal Champion there in the core and was able to take out another defense. The Expo goes down, and that helps out quite a bit with the pathing on the remaining troops here. Pete Castro knows that he's dwindling away in terms of firepower, and even though he doesn't have to take on too many defenses at once, there are still some pretty mighty foes standing in his way. That multi-archer tower just ripping to shreds those poor Yetis. Still see another enemy minion prince high in the sky. Tough to take down when the Barbarian King is the last big offensive force to apply to this attack. Still holding on to 5 big old brawly Barbarians in the backside and ready to pop that King ability. It's looking good, but he's running short on time, sensing the spiky ball. 15 seconds left. Give it the gas, Pete Castro. Knock that 3rd star down.
He's got to get through here. He's got 10 seconds. Only a couple buildings
Come
remain.
on!
King's working there. It's all onto the sweeper, and the Queen's going to come over and pop it down. And it is back-to-back 3 stars for these 2 squads.
Now, in our next battle, will Nachua be able to break the 1-star curse and keep this war tight?
3 1-stars in our first 3 wars, Woody. But we've kept the streak alive in that last war. Nachoa's going to come in here with this spirit charge, and it's a very interesting thing to see all these 1-stars, but also it's not something completely unexpected, as these teams are definitely going to bring out their best bases for the qualifier. At this point, you're not going to hold anything back. You want to throw it all against the wall and see if you can get this golden ticket early. I think that was a big part of Synchronic's success last year. When you get that early golden ticket, you just take so much pressure off your team throughout the whole year, and you can just relax. Whereas a team like Tribe, they were kind of sweating throughout the year. I feel like they were confident that they would get there, but man, it came down to the very last second. So all these wars are very, very important as Nachoa gets started here. That Queen took some damage early, but now she's being healed back up here.
Important opportunity now to continue this push in. I'm noticing 2 recall spells here. Bash, I wonder if you could tell us a little bit more about the use of the recall spell, especially on these surgical deployments for these heroes.
Well, the first recall was for that Royal Champion, which we've seen almost every attack for these Root Rider attacks. But I think he may recall... Oh, wait, no, that wasn't the second recall. That was the RC there. Okay. That's just the icon for the Royal Champion there.
For the, right.
Okay, I thought
okay,
maybe
well, gets her back into the action.
Yeah, he's going right into the middle there. But he could have maybe recalled that Queen and put her down at the bottom with the main force, but she's going to naturally make her way over there. But look at this. The Yetis are going to rage up and get to the Town Hall. Now with the Royal Champion being deployed in there, she's got a lot of force in there. He's got the Warden with ability. He's got the Overgrowth in there. He's got King Queen with ability. He's got a lot of force and half of the base remaining. Keep an eye on this Queen. She's all alone here. He's going to pop the ability and spawn that Giant now.
She was taking shots from that fire spitter too, and that's pretty good news, as that was a lot of splash damage, avoiding the main pack of this army. Nachua does lose the Queen down into the core, and the Giant still just pummeling away at these walls. But with that Overgrowth now dropped, I'm not sure he's getting fantastic value out of that big spell deploy. The Root Riders are still looking very healthy with lots of support from that Grand Warden, and the outside heroes are doing fantastic work on cleanup as well. But they've got a lot of base left to collapse on with only 38 seconds left. It's looking like this is going to be a time issue, Bash.
Yeah, he's got to get moving here. He still does have Royal Champion ability. He still has King ability here, which could be that spiky ball to surge forward, take out some of those buildings. But man, that Royal Champion gets 8 alive there. Here comes some hogs out of that Royal Champion's hog puppet, but he's running low on forces now. King is trailing behind, and this looks to be our first miss of the wars. And Choa only has 10 seconds remaining now. He's saving that spiky ball as long as possible, but he has to deploy it right here. And it's going to be up into maybe the mid-90s, low 90s here. He doesn't have time to push up to the mid-90s.
Terrifying, long-time member of this tribe, Ross. Oh yeah, it looks like we missed the first 30 seconds or so, but it seems like the beginning was just fine for the Royal Champion, still looking very healthy, and with the Spirit Box to help out, doesn't even have to use a recall spell to get her paired off with some other troops over here on the right side. Does soak a shot from the Town Hall, as that splash damage is going to do a lot of work onto her, and the Giga Bomb going off right in her face. But she still is holding on. Another invis goes down, and the Town Hall is finished. CC pull has been effectuated, and Rikirez now can set up for the next phase of this attack with the RC almost able to take out one of those ice golems. Not quite, though. Gonna have to rely on the Archer Queen to finish those off.
That's something to keep an eye on. We just zoomed in on it. That furnace spawning out those little fire spirits, especially with the dragons. If those fire spirits start to go up there and mess with the dragons, that could definitely become a factor. He's going to go right into both the fire spirits here. I didn't see, yeah, he does have Warden Eternal Tome. So with the healing tome, so he'll be able to heal these dragons back up, but he needs to get to these fire spiriters as fast as possible. Queen's doing a great job at managing everything on the bottom side, and she does have that giant puppet, which will help out with some of these heroes down at the bottom. These dragons need to make quick work of that top compartment. Look at that furnace. It's still spitting out those fire spirits there, Woody. So it could be a little bit of an issue here as he pushes further in.
Definitely an annoyance, and a good call out from the other casters who have identified a fantastic CC defense there in that furnace. A couple of dragons are going to split off from the rest of the pack and soak some big bombs right there in the core of the base, but a couple more still up top, staying back with the Grand Warden, doing everything they can to power it through. They are now down, though, and with an air defense still left, that Grand Warden and the Phoenix are not going to be long for this world, having to rely on ground troops and just hoping to get a few more percentage off with this Archer Queen. Can they make it past the 93% standard set by Nachoa? It doesn't seem likely, Bash.
He's still got those fire spirits coming out from his own furnace. Does have a couple archers, maybe could pick up that army camp over there. He's going to try to get the mortar. The mortar wasn't low enough, but it is going to be...
He got the mortar!
Oh, wait. Oh, he's in range of it. Okay. Okay, he is in range of it. Time is still taken away. He's got those fire spirits in there. It's not going to get to 93, but maybe 89 here will be the number for Rakira, as that one just fell short. I think the entry for those dragons was just a little bit tough. He went into a lot of damage, and then they had to just fight their way through it. Archer will go ahead and pick this up at 89%, and that is going to be a 4% advantage for VATIC Esports.
Not sure if you guys... Year's World Championship having dropped to none other than the World Champions themselves. He was also a semi-finalist in the 2022 World Championship when he fought under the banner of MS Esports. He's charging in now with a Grand Warden to make an early strike at the space. Not entirely off meta, but definitely doesn't see as much of this anymore compared to those Royal Champion charges. Let's see where this fireball is going in, Bash.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting combination, but if he can get this Town Hall down, he could possibly send it over to the Fire Spitter there and maybe get the CC down as well. He does have 4 Invises, so he can definitely set this up. The main thing is you want to wait for that Jelly's ability to wear off. The Angry Jelly is going to allow the Warden to target only defenses for 35 seconds. But if you do it too early, the Warden will likely go into an area you don't want him to. Great Fireball comes in and takes down the Fire Spitter and takes down the CC. But now he does not have to worry about those Clan Castle troops. So now he can get everything working through here. He's got a long way to go with 2 minutes remaining, but I love this setup. Getting the Town Hall and the Clan Castle dealt with early is huge, but he's also going to have that Fire Spitter shooting right at him. Could overgrowth there, but I think the overgrowth's going to come towards that Monolith and Merge multi-defense.
I think this is a fantastic entry point for Kingsman, and I really think that he is on his path to 3 stars right now. I don't want to jinx it, Bash, but man, those Root Riders did exactly what you would want to see from them. Barb King cleaning up the outside edges. It looks like a few shots from those Monoliths might be going on to Root Riders, but nonetheless, still a very strong early entry point, and as long as he can keep the damage off of his heroes, he should be fine, able to clean up the end of this base. There goes the Overgrowth spell, able to take out the Monolith before that goes down. We do see still a very strong army going to the backside of the base, and past the 50% point now, Kingsman looks very confident. His fingers flying across this screen and his eyes laser focused on the last key remaining defenses, focused on enemy ground-based expos and multi-target infernos on the far side that he's going to have to deal with. That's still going to be a lot of long-range heavy damage to finish off.
He's got to be careful of these defenses that just woke up. It's the Fire Spitters that merge multi-defense, and it's the scatter shot with the Queen with their cloned queens from the Magic Mirror. Make quick work of it, but now the queens are stuck inside that compartment, so he needs to get through there, and he does. That Fire Spitter, remember, it's pointing towards the bottom left side of the base, so it's not going to actually shoot the Queen. He's got a lot of force remaining here. He still has King ability. I think he has Spiky Ball on that King. Here come the Barbarians, and Kingsman is looking to get the job done. It's a 3-star for VATIC Esports.
Wow, what a showing! With 15 seconds still. And I'm excited to see now how Nebrax is going to try to get this closer again. He needs a triple here if he wants to keep Tribe even Steven against a tough foe who have been prepping hard all month long, Bash.
He missed on that second invis, but luckily the Spirit Fox was able to go ahead and correct that. Gonna go ahead and use the invis the Tesla and the Wizard Tower to push that Royal Champion to the Town Hall. He wants to get this done. Nebrex known for his dragon attacks, and that's exactly what we see here.
Oh.
Using that haste valve to push that Royal Champion even further into the base. Another invisibility. Fire Spinner goes down, and he is working through here. He still has more invisibilities. His timing is off, so he's not even risking that Royal Champion taking more damage. He's just safely using those invises, and that Royal Champion has eaten this left side alive.
That's an indication to me that he had a specific target set in mind for that Royal Champion dive, and able to take out quite a bit of base, and a partial CC pull is a little bit awkward here. We'll see what remains in that CC as we get troops closer into the base, but Mass Dragons are a fantastic follow-up for an early strike like that. They should be able to finish off most of these buildings on the top right and then coalesce as they move in toward that Poison Tower, the Monolith, and the multi-target Inferno.
Here comes the Giant from the Queen's action figure puppet, or equipment, excuse me. He's also got the Sneezy in there, spitting out those boogers to tank a little bit further in there.
Oh.
And I didn't see, it's Ice Golems in the Clan Castle. I was gonna say, I didn't see if the rest of the Clan Castle got pulled, but here come the Ice Golems. I think the Giant actually pulled them out. Shouldn't be an issue, but it will hold things up just a little bit. And here comes Super Minions in a balloon out of that Siege Barracks that he deployed with the Archer Queen. He's got a ton of force here, and this is looking really strong for Nebrex, as there's not a lot of air targeting defenses left.
Just still has that air defense in the bottom left compartment, sees a Tesla farm on the edge of the base at that 4 or 5 o'clock position, and an enemy Archer Queen. Those are the big targets yet remaining. A Poison Tower's gonna pop, but doesn't hit the bulk of the army. Still, these troops are not exactly concentrating fire the way you may want them to. They do take out the multi-target Inferno just barely, and that's great news for Nebrex, whose forces need to stay concentrated on the key defenses that still remain. He's got his dragon up high. He's got super minions in the sky. Bash, can he finish it off?
He's looking pretty good here. The main thing is if the Queen stays up, but with him having the Warden, as long as the Warden doesn't catch a Seeking Air Mine and stays out of the range of that Queen, he could be good, because the Warden will outrange all those Teslas. There's 2 Seeking Air Mines from the Super Minion. That's a great pickup. That's a great tank for that Warden. That gives this one even more feet. This should have enough gas in the tank. It's just mostly that Queen. Keep an eye on where that Queen steps in. 17 seconds. He's got 2 storages.
Keep it up. Come on. Black Bomb on the Baby Dragon.
Seeking Air Bomb goes off. Can he get through Woody? 10 seconds. He's pumping his fist.
Yes!
It's gonna be a 3-star for Tribe Gaming.
That is it.
Have 10% more damage and health, while, or excuse me, 20%, while his attacking heroes are gonna have 10% less damage and health, not to mention the common equipment level 15, the epic equipment capped at level 21. Tryhard is in. It's another Root Rider attack. Let's see if he can keep the momentum alive here for VATIC Esports.
Seeing a little bit of a pull from the CC. Not entirely bad news for Tryhard. He does manage to take down one of those archers thanks to the Electro Boots that Royal Champion had on, but it looks like it's going to be a quick drop on the bottom side. Does not want to see a time fail on this attack, and he's going to be sending in those Root Riders lickety-split at the 6 o'clock position, holding on to a Golem to be able to provide some additional tanking for the next wave of forces coming in. But the Royal Champion has now joined the fray and is going to be backing up to support this Grand Warden assault on the bottom side. Meanwhile, Log Launcher over on that left side gets some support as well from the Archer Queen, and a Barbarian King is going to be in there as well. A lot of forces are coalescing around this bottom left lane of the base, but still so much left standing. He did not get too many defenses down with the early strike, and now needs to rely instead upon having a massive army be able to sweep through and last a long time against a huge spread out base, Bash.
Ooh, he didn't get that Log Launcher into the Town Hall compartment. That wall is very weak, so the Yeti should be able to pound through there. But the Queen is walking out of that compartment now. She's going to go join the King, and now the Town Hall takedown. The Royal Champion will come over and take it, but the Queen and the Yetis could have maybe got that down a little bit quicker. He's also running out of force here. Look at, I don't even see any Root Riders. There's still the King and the Queen and the Royal Champion with abilities, but he's pretty much out of roots. This one's going to be a tough finish here for Tryhard.
Very tough. Keep an eye on heroes too. They're even more important in this hard mode version. Attacking heroes do less and defending heroes do more. So every time there's a hero v hero encounter, you want to see 2v1 in the offense's favor or something else to boost their chances and prevent the defenders from being able to knock out what little left remains of the attacking force. Tryhard now passing the 80% mark and knowing that he still is going to have a strong percentage, but really desperately wants to cling to the hope of a 3-star. He has a lot of time left thanks to that early deploy, and finally these Yetis are going to start getting some work done. Tryhard scratches his head because there's nothing left to do, just to cross his fingers, hope, and pray that the last few defenses cannot hold him at bay. He's smiling now as his teammates are coming into the frame, starting to look. Throws his fist up in the air and he is clapping, excited for yet another 3-star. Bash, there has been, you want to see a defense that can turn the tide on this percentage game, which is in VATIC's favor. Kronos is the next to make it into the fight, and as the spokesman for this tribe team has done a lot to keep his forces rallied and powerful throughout even the most difficult runs. As a Worlds finalist, he wants to be back on top of this game, and in order to do so, he has got to claim this victory.
One little thing he does here, check that out. He makes the defense invis to target the next defense so that Royal Champion, those Electro Boots, can actually continue to get value. That's one of those things that the pros do. It's one of those little things you don't really think about, but it makes such an important difference so you can maximize the value out of those Royal Champion charges. Ice Golem pops down there, is going to provide the support for the Queen to go into that merged multi-tower. Now the King's going to join the party as well. He's going to make his way right through the Town Hall and behind the Fire Spitters, along with that Troop Launcher. We've seen that be used time and time again on these Root Rider attacks. Having those extra giants, those wall breakers, those little baby troops in there just have so much support for these heavy Root Rider attacks. Town Hall takedown should be secured. Let's see if we use the Warden ability. There it is. Warden ability to protect and heal these troops back up. And Kronos is off to a strong start so far.
Beautiful entry and an early pop on the Eternal Tome too, getting some extra value by supporting the troops that came out of that troop launcher. The Giga Bomb is not going to hardly cause any damage whatsoever. It's just sitting alone in that right side compartment. Kronos dodging a major source of discomfort, especially for an army that has so many troops that would be vulnerable to splash damage. Kronos instead going to pop that overgrowth spell in the top right and keep his forces concentrated in this clockwise push around the base. Rather, he sees that multi-target Inferno going down, and still a lot of oomph on that Royal Champion. She made it so far through this assault, but it seems like things are starting to slow down a bit, both on offense and defense. The Yetis are taking a beating now as long-range shots are just dwindling down their health, hoping that Sneezy up top can keep some blocking force out in front of these heroes so that they can get the damage in. But I don't know what he's got for that Monolith. Only 1 free spell left, and he has got to hope that they path inward and take it down quick, Bash.
Here comes the Queens with the Giant. Also, the Magic Mirror will allow him to have a couple extra Queens on the board. A lot of firepower. Now the Yetis are getting out in front. Oh, wait, nope. The Warden gets taken down. Now the Yetis are out in front. They'll provide a little bit of tanking. Not to mention that Giant is out in front. He's hoping, he's praying that he can get through here. He's got enough force on the board if he can get the tanking in the right positions. There's a little bit of a cause for concern on his face, but Kronos needs a 3-star here in the worst way. 8% remain, 15 seconds.
Come on!
Ricochet cannon goes down. Expos, all that really remains as a threat, but 10 seconds. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, the booger almost got it. But that storage, oh, it's just not enough time, Woody. It's a time fail.
Don't hold your breath, or you will be...
Score so far. And if he can get another 3-star on the board, 14 is unheard of here in the hard mode. And it's going to be another Root Rider attack. I believe we saw all Root Rider attacks here for VATIC Esports, with the one variation being Kingsman using that Grand Warden charge into the Fireball. So if it's not broke, don't fix it, as they are working together and live in Paris at the VATIC boot camp.
Imran is an incredibly powerful player who has an interesting backstory as well. He qualified in 2023 for the World Championship, but was unable to attend. Now recruited by VATIC to once again make another championship run to the top. He's in an enviable position for many, but with the need to score a 2-star 93% to clinch victory against Tribe, it is not going to be an easy walk-off performance. He's set up the Grand Warden on the top side now, and with the troop launcher throwing barrels directly at that Town Hall. This is going to be a lot of firepower against Nebrax's base early on. Should be able to take the Town Hall down and keep going strong without much worry. Imran is looking incredibly strong here, Bash.
King and Queen on the left side. The Warden ability is going to heal some of those roots right back up. He does have that Furnace in the middle, but the roots aren't so concerned about that Furnace. They're just worried about those defenses, so that's not as big of a deal there. King and Queen are the big story here. If they can join back up with the roots in the middle, that'll be massive. Queen still does have her ability, still has a freeze, still has an invisibility yet to be played. The Royal Champion is in there, throwing those spears, trying their hardest to get these defenses down. Keep an eye on this King. Oh, great freeze there on the enemy King. Imran is looking really strong. He's got enough force. He's got enough time. Can he make it through the rest of Nebrax's base?
I think he will, Bash. And I mean, even if he doesn't, it looks like he's still with a Queen ability with an invisibility spell. He's going to be able to cross that 92% threshold for the win. Strength of these troops just cannot be denied. The smile, the style, the spells, everything making it toward the finish line. And it is all cheers from his teammates. The Paris boot camp has come through clutch, and VATIC will move on in the upper bracket. Victory over Tribe Gaming.
Wow, what a performance for VATIC. E3-star, but man, Tribe Gaming, even though they are going down to the lower bracket, they've got to be feeling good about this performance. Wouldn't you say, Woody? They came out strong against a really good team here in VATIC Esports.
They must be feeling very, very good, and it is a difficult day to pull off predictions in the first month of this Clash of Clans World Championship. Seeing so much incredible performance across the board, players just surprising us, underdogs creating new storylines. Teamper missing the Spirit Fox on that last Invis spell, trying to keep this Royal Champion safe through the stab, but you know he just must be a little bit demoralized by knowing that even with a triple, it would not be enough for a win.
Great use to pop off that rocket spear, so he got all those spears out, but unfortunately the Royal Champion did get taken down. Now we got a King battle, or no, wait, that's the Queen going up against the Queen, going up against the King, excuse me, on defense. Easy for me to say there. Now he's going to deploy another Ice Golem and the Log Launcher to help that Queen push further into the base. But now the Root Riders all deployed here. It's a heavy push through the middle of this base. It's a long way to go. Ice Golem pops. That'll protect the Queen. Temper needs to get a 3-star here just to keep the morale high. And there comes the giant from that action figure.
Yeah, big burly beast ready to reaction and holding on to that Eternal Tome as well. The Grand Warden ready to pop and defend all these troops that are marching into combat. Multi-target Inferno and Fire Spitters firing away at them for maximum splash damage. Now seeing the CC troops come out, going to be a bad time for that Ice Golem to pop if the Fire Spitters are still up. In fact, we also have fire from the Town Hall raining down on these troops. And with a bit of an awkward spread, the Grand Warden unable to protect all of them is just doing his best to keep these cats corralled in the center.
Yeah, the cats are definitely corralled in there. The Warden ability will protect them even further. Beautiful rage spell here in that Town Hall compartment. Should allow those roots to go ahead and surge through the Town Hall, get to that monolith. He still has the King working down there on the bottom along with the Queen. He's got pretty much all of his roots alive here. Snakes spawning left and right. Still have those 5 Super Barbarians to be played as well. And he's got a lot of time left here, 45 seconds, but still about a third of the base remains at 67%, now up to 70% at 38 seconds.
Ready to finish off what remains of this base and to try to claim that 3-star, like you said, to keep morale high for his team as they advance in the lower bracket. Still with 25 seconds left and holding on to another spell and a few more abilities. King ready to pop off at any moment. Has got a lot of forces yet to deploy with a spiky ball and some snakes to still attack over these walls. Teamper's just holding on, hasn't popped the ability yet, and is maybe just going to be waiting until the last minute, trying to get the maximum value that he can from that ball. It's going to go all the way to the backside. Ooh. It's going to finish off to the last one.
Come on.
Just a ricochet cannon standing. And what a storyline for Tribe to go out on Bash. Missing 1 triple on the VATIC side. Nacho is still coming terribly close with 93% too.
It looks to be really fun, but we shift gears down to that lower bracket. We'll see Navi play against Only Exceed and Synchronic, the current reigning world champions, going up against the team they defeated to win the championship, Tribe Gaming, and an elimination matchup. Both of those lower bracket matchups will be elimination, so a lot